Morning, everybody. Oh, man. Hope everybody's all right. Yeah, the equities need to calm down a little bit first, no doubt. It's okay. We're kind of used to that. Oh, great, KM. Awesome. Yeah, that was a scenario of the moon, the star, and the sun all lined up. We've gotten that a few times with the YM and the RTY, where just everything lines up perfectly. The candles consolidate, and then they off go the other way. um, yeah, one and done. Exactly. That is the quintessential goal if you're trading prop firm for sure is to be one and done. Hit your profit target, whatever that is for your objective of your PA, whoever your prop firm is, and call it a day. Go into sim mode or something like that. And then if you want to keep trading, prop firms is all about survival. It looks like today we're kind of. I just got back from the when I started. I got back from the urologist. I met him this morning, so I didn't catch any of these trades. I mean, gold came right out of the box again. Second minute, boom, out of the box. Came back in the box all the way to the other side. Have we talked about that before? I think we have. Unfortunately, we had these static lines in the way. Then they went through the box, came back inside. Now they're all the way through the other side of the box. I mean, come on, guys. I don't use a copier anymore, but the copier I had was one that Apex offered. Morning, Ryan. Morning, Treeman. I'm a little under the weather today. My my issue is back. So they've got me scheduled for 2 procedures that they're going to call me and tell me when to come in. And then they're doing a more thorough urinalysis test on me. So my schedule might be blotchy for the next few days because I don't know if I've got to like leave or if I can't, you know. Yeah, it kept screwing up for me too. Well, yeah, no customer support. I could have told you that. Yeah, no customer support. Which one do you use now, KM? Yeah, David, it's not a good situation because it's all back, and it's back with a vengeance. This is worse than 2 days ago. So, but at least I'm now in the hands of a urologist, and he doesn't seem too concerned because he went through my CT scan, freaking screen by screen by screen, and looked at things. Plus the fact that I have a really good PSA test, but I am going to have to do 2 procedures. Which, if you ask me, one of them's the dye test. I don't know if any of you have ever done the dye test before. I have done the dye test before back when I was like 17 for something. I got to do the dye test, and then I also have to do a cystologies. I don't know where they go in and they look at my bladder inside. So I got to do both of those within the next few days or so. Affordable indicators. Yeah, it's fucking it's just, I don't actually, the day one when this happened, I didn't feel bad. Today I don't feel good. Well, yeah. Yeah, it is hell to get older, that's for sure. Yeah, no problem, FM. Yeah. I did take a trade today. I'm down $67. If you ask me to tell you what it was, it was in oil. Actually, it was in oil. I couldn't even remember what I took the trade in. It was in oil. I took a trade in oil this morning, if you can believe that. And I got knocked out. I'm down, like I said, $67. Yeah, I see that, Jim. I'm looking at it. I'm kind of hoping gold will go to the 9 EMA. I got it right here, man. Because we're through all these pivots to the left, man. It would be great if we'd go to the 9 EMA in gold, man. I might be able to make some real money on my way to the prior day high. And then I can just shut it down. No, I don't. I used to trade Apex. So did Jim. And we used our payouts to fund our prop firms to fund our live accounts. Sorry, get my terminology mixed up. We both used our payouts to fund our live accounts. Man, gold, are you just going to run away on me? Fuck. You're just pissing me off. I really needed gold to come back and then roll up. I mean, this is it doesn't look like much here, folks, but I mean, this move, like say if it would roll back into here, that's $1,200. That's a $1,200 per contract move if it would have just rolled over for me. Yeah, David, I think Lucid sounds like a pretty decent organization, to be honest with you. Um, they contacted me. I'm an affiliate now, but they contacted me and kind of went over their program, and their program sounds pretty good. A little less wildcatish than Apex. They want to limit your accounts. They want you to trade. They don't have these 20 account things. Throw them all out there, and you get rich quick kind of philosophy behind the scenes type thing that never really happens. But maybe gold will finally be setting up. NQ still trying to set up, huh, Jim? If it would pull back too, that would be nice. I'm looking at everything. So everybody just realize I'm looking at all things. If I see something, line up, we'll jump over to it. So that's why I'm just keeping my gold chart out for now. Yeah, we have news at 10 o'clock too, which is in 2 minutes. So yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ryan. That's good. That's good about Top Step. I just know all these prop firms go through evolutionary processes. They really do. So I don't like to throw any of them under the bus. Really, I don't. But I do know in the past, Top Step got a really bad reputation for midstream changing rules, especially changing rules after you're asking for a payout. Things like that. I know some very experienced traders, much more experienced than me, that trade oil and the NQ that have been shunned by Top Step in the past from giving them payouts. So here's that news. So that's why we don't do anything. See this big candle here with the news? I mean, that if you could have had a fake run up there. So you just got to wait. Unfortunately, that just screwed up my pattern that I was looking for, because I wanted it to do exactly this, and then at least go from here to here. That'd still be $600. I got to wait till the news is over, Charles. I mean, yeah. By the way, of course, Charles, the RTY setup is really nice. Kind of like the gold setup that I sat here for the last 15 minutes waiting for finally happened, and so did the news at the same fucking time. I mean, I sat here all through these candles, waiting for that pullback. No, Daryl was using somebody help me out. He didn't have problems with Top Step. He had problems with some other organization. Somebody type it in here where Daryl used to trade. I don't even know if the prop firm still exists. I can't remember it. It's not Top Step. I can't remember the name. They even contacted me to be an affiliate a year or two ago, or 2 years ago. I can't remember the name of the firm. No, it's not Top Step. I know. I've spoken personally to Daryl. I know it's not Top Step. God dang, I can't remember who it is. It is not Top Step, though. Shit, I can't remember. Somebody in here will remember. No, it's not Bolinex either. God dang it. No, it's not Tradeify either. Tradeify is, I think, newer. Fuck, I can't remember the name of the company. But I know for a fact it's not Top Step. And if I saw the name, I'd recognize it. Gold's probably now going to rotate up. Lilu. That's it. It was Lilu. You're the winner of the day, Phantom. Lilu. Oh, yeah. And Brad, you got it too. Yeah, Lilu. It's Lilu. Lilu didn't pay Daryl. It was Lilu. Do they still exist? I don't even know if they still exist. Damn, Jim, that freaking NQ worked. How unfortunate that it was freaking at the 10 o'clock news. Isn't that always the case? You probably still took it. You're a demon. You're a daredevil. Yeah, it was Lilu, which is a weird name. No wonder I never would have remembered that name. Now I think about it. Because there's a clothing company named Lilu, isn't there? Something like that, Lululemon or something. Isn't that a clothing company? All right, so the news is over. It's time to start paying attention. Did you get it, Jim? Man, I don't feel good. I feel like I got a fever. 50 points, good for you. Good job, man. Yeah. Well, the interesting part is the interesting part about the NQ trade is you knew where the target was. You knew where the target was, Jim. Look at that setup. And not only that, it clipped our 5-minute gold line also, just for confidence purposes. All right, I'm gonna pull up the RTY for a second here. We might have a just there's no real direction. It's trying to go long. We all see that, but there's, even if I get in, there's just no money there. If this pivot stays north of this, I might try this rejection of the prior day open in the RTY. It's not lining up really with the YM, but if it holds this pivot, I need it to hold this pivot right here. Don't break this pivot right here. Don't break this pivot right here. Boy, it's right at it. Look at that. I don't like it anymore. I don't like it anymore. See, we broke this pivot to the long side here. Everybody see that? And then we came back. There's support here. There's support here. I mean, there's support all through here. But then we just, I mean, I think we went through it. And the YM is stuck. At the same time, the YM is oh fuck, what did I just do? Where's my YM? Please don't tell me I closed it. No, okay. The YM at the same time is down here below the red line right here. So we're not really in agreement. I shouldn't say not really. We're not in agreement at all. Well, it's just, it's just we got to be patient, Ryan. We just got to wait till something gives us what we want. Remember one thing about algos. They don't go to the bathroom. They don't have to worry about refilling your coffee. They don't have a phone ringing. They don't have to do, it's just wait until everything's right. And then poof, off it goes. They don't care if it's 10 in the morning or 11 in the morning. They don't care. Man, I really wanted gold to come down here and hit this 5-minute gold line, which of course it didn't fricking do. Right now, I'd like it to come down here and hit the top of the 15-minute range box and the 5-minute gold line. I mean, the 5-minute red line at the same time. I'm still trying to find the place where I can get along. It's going to bring me back up into here. I'm still seeking that. Good job, Jim. Yeah, I'd do the same. If I was you, I would. Yeah. We're just kind of stuck in a quagmire right now. Ooh wee, man. All right, let's see here. It's like everything's just kind of sitting still for now, kind of reminding us a little bit of yesterday. Shit. All right. Well. Come on, somebody do something. Somebody do something. Somebody do something. I lost money in a hey, American Patriot. I lost money in oil this morning. By the way, that ES red line that you took, yeah, I took the NQ version of it. I'm up a whopping $70. Yeah, I got a late start today because I had a urologist appointment this morning. So I came home and I thought, well, so I didn't get to trade oil or gold the way I want to. So I said, well, what the hell? Let me go check on oil. And I took a trade, got snapped. I got snapped. Something's going to happen, guys. Something's going to happen. That red light in the ES was nice. Had almost a quasi M pattern to it. I took the NQ version of it. Gold just looks like it's gone into the 10 o'clock blues. So let me move on from that. Shit. Kind of our problem today is we're stuck in between all these static lines without any push pull. Something will happen. Something will happen. I'm up a whopping $70. $70. You talking to me, Treeman? The ES. Oh. Well, okay, so Treeman, let me answer that question. Treeman, let me answer that question. That's a very good question, by the way. Excellent question. You're asking this being resistance, right, Treeman? Right? You're looking at that as resistance. And to answer your question, yes. But the flip side of that is, but you have so much room for it to work to make money before you get punched in the face. So when it had this candle here to the red line and then an inside candle and then one down through the bottom, that was a beautiful entry right there. And that's exactly why, because see, the intent for this trade is to go long off this being support. Yes, this is the resistance, but it's way the fuck up here, which is way over 15 points away. 15 points away. So you got room to make that money. Even if this market goes from here to here, kind of like it went from here to here, as you can see, it went from here to here. Even if it's going to go from here to here, this bump in the road should be profitable to you. Oh, you mean the 5? No. Okay. So, all right, Treeman. Order of operations. All right. Good question again, but order of operations. I have a video on this. Order of operations. Which lines are more powerful than which lines? This is a teaching moment. The most powerful moving average on our charts is that 5-minute red line. That is by far the most powerful moving average we have on our lines, on our charts. The second most powerful is the 5-minute gold line. It's a continuation moving average. So see how we went up and came down and touched it? That's a continuation moving average. This is a side of the market. Are we going to keep it long or are we going to keep it short? Okay. This one's more powerful than this one. This one's more powerful than this one. So you got to understand the order of operations. Since this line is more powerful than this line, it was going to blow through it. That's just like we talk about once price gets up and on top of the 9 EMA, that, there's your continuation. Then for power, overall power, you've got these static lines, and those are the most powerful of all. So if this red line was up here and this price came down into that red line, you would never take that trade because you have no room to make money. So like I said, even if the intent of this market, which it should be its intent, to be perfectly honest with you, if it's going to trade patterns, its intent is to bring it to here. Even on that trip, if you have a nice run from a high to here, that's a decent place to make some money. Am I making any sense? I mean, it's not the kind of trade that we called out in the group yesterday. And I didn't call that trade out. But I mean, JP made a very good call. He had an inside candle. After we touched that red line, we had an inside candle. This one came through the bottom. Oh my God. That's my favorite scenario. If you think it's going long, you want that inside candle to your left to get pierced to the bottom and then watch it run right back through the top. And that's exactly what the hell happened here. And this is a big move for the ES. For ES traders in here, this thing went 8 points. That's a big move for the ES. 8 points. That shows you this was the trade. This was a valid trade off that 5-minute red line. And right now, the 5-minute red line is battling to come back up to here. Am I making any sense, Treeman? I'm not calling it a high quality trade, but it was a very valid setup. High, smooth pullback to the red line. We're after 10 o'clock or so. You had this inside candle. This one came through the bottom. Man, that honestly, JP, that was a great. JP, are you the one that took that? That was a great setup. Honestly, just to make. I mean, shit. If you're trading the ES and trying to make, say, 4 points a trade, which is $200, boom, it's right there. Boom, there's $200. You're done. It's really and this candle right here is your confirmation that was a valid setup. Beautiful setup. There's this one right here is a 5-minute gold line, which is a 9 EMA on a 5-minute chart. And then this is the actual 9 EMA. Okay? Because even 5-minute traders, Jim, even 5-minute traders trade a 9 EMA. Okay, that 9 EMA is your continuation trade. That's your continuation. That's the market's made a decision. It wants to go one direction or another. It pulls back to that support area and rejects off. You'll notice right here. See how it rejected right off of it right here? Even the ES, it crossed over the 5-minute red line, pivot high, boom. Even the ES has that kind of momentum. And that's what ran it right back up to the prior day high, which is the exact trade, by the way, that Jim took in the NQ. This trade is the exact trade that Jim took in the NQ at the same time. The Jim took 50 points in the NQ per contract. He probably traded 5. It's that crossover, new high, boom, right to that 5-minute gold line, which is a continuation gold line. That's a continuation moving average. It's not a side of the market. The red line is a side of the market. Keep the market long or keep the market short. That's what the red line's job is. The gold lines are to create continuations. And nothing is smoother than that back to this gold line. And then wham, that's the trade Jim took. And he, like I said, Jim trades 5 contracts. So when he said he made 50 points, he made $5,000 on that trade. $5,000 on that trade. And this exact scenario right here happens in gold all the time, where price finally gets through the red line, crosses over, comes back and hits that 5-minute gold line, and just, it's like bug repellent. And then just ping, it's gone. It's literally like bug repellent. And the ES and the NQ did the exact same thing at the exact same time. Literally reached down, and you can tell by look at how that candle formed. All they were doing was coming down here and testing it. That's all they were doing. They were testing that 5-minute gold line, and then whoop, off they went. Okay, thanks, Bruce. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, he made $5,000. I know that because he trades 5 contracts in both NQ and gold. And this pattern, I've showed it to you guys before in gold. This pattern right here, where price goes from one side of our 5-minute moving average, 5-minute red line, to the other side, and then comes back and tests that 5-minute gold line. That right there, that pattern in gold and in the NQ, and as you can see, it did happen in the ES, but definitely the NQ and in gold. That pattern is lightning. Oh, let's just for fun, while we're sitting here having this conversation, let's talk about RTY. Rotates across the red line. See it? From the bottom to the top, came back. It hit the red line, but it really came back here to reach that 5-minute gold line, and then boom, up it goes. And you can see the candle formation. It came down and touched it and formed its way back up. Oh, look at gold. Gold just came off of it right here. See, I didn't even take it. Gold did it again. Gold did it today. Across the red line, came up, sat on that 5-minute gold line, and there's your trade. Anyways, so look at gold. But gold has been sloppy lately. That's why gold has been, see how sloppy this trade was? See how sloppy it was? And like Jim told me, he says gold's starting to give him anxiety. I don't know if you guys have watched, some of the, like a week ago, he got into one of these gold trades that did exactly this. It came off that gold line, went up, and then swung way back, and he was in up here, and he was down like $2,000 or so on the trade, but he held his pivot, which is this pivot. He held his pivot, and then it rotated up, and he made $10,000. But he told me, he says that trade's getting a little sloppy for me, and hence he turned around and he took the same trade in the NQ today. And it is a little sloppy because, see, it didn't do it down here. It would have been cleaner if it came up, did this, and then came to here and then went up. But it came way over here and then meandered its way, and we had news here, and then finally sat here, and this trade from here to exactly the high is $2,000 a contract. Anyways, But you got to remember, guys. Okay, and I want to point this out 50 freaking times to Sunday. All right, I need to point this out 50 ways to Sunday. Jim's trading with a big bankroll. Okay, he sends me his account. I know what his bankroll is. Jim's trading with a big bankroll, and so does he get a bit of anxiety when he's in, say, this trade here and it comes back to here and he's down $2,000-$3,000? Yes, he gets anxiety. He still gets anxiety. But when his upside is supposed to be, $10,000+ and he's seen the pattern work enough, he just gives himself the nerve to hold it. But it's not something you can be doing in a prop firm because they don't want to see those type of swings in a trade. Now, you could take that trade, for example, in micros with a prop firm and not have any problems. I walked away from gold when this did this because I was waiting for that. But when this did this, I said, forget it. Now, again, the damn thing worked. But again, you guys watch me trade. I'm an anxious trader. The way the RTY trade and the YM trade went yesterday, that's what Bob Anderson wants. That's how I want the trades to go. I want to get in and I want to see big green candles. I don't want to hang around hoping that my pivot that I'm in off of holds. And so, like when Jim does what he does, or JP does what he does, or Ryan Scooby does what he does, and you guys are listening, in here and you're watching, and you're watching the chat and you're watching me, you gotta put yourself in your scenario of where you are with your trading and your prop firm and your whatever your scenario, and figure out what best is for you at this moment. All right, so the RTY and the YM are finally freaking going somewhere. So maybe we can start getting some trades. Of course, gold is off to the races without me. Freaking gold, pissing me off. So let me get over here and look at RTY. So RTY is off and running finally. It's up to, it's in all these lines, which I'm okay with that for now because the YM. So let me shrink this up kind of like yesterday. Let's get both of these together. Let me put this back down here. And let me get this down here. Here's our YM. All right. Jesus. Here's our YM. So what what would be potentially good is, since we've crossed over these major resistance lines, is for these to both come and sit on top of these lines at the same time. And then we can do a continuation long off the resistance lines because, resistance becomes support, support comes resistance. You guys all know that garbage. So maybe we can get something like that with these two because we're finally out of this freaking consolidation bullshit. So hopefully we can find, something to get us going. Treeman, did I answer your questions? Oh, clear as day. Okay, I didn't see your comment above. Gotcha. I didn't see your comment above. Sorry. It's patterns, just patterns. And once the patterns start clicking with you, it's just, it literally, when I say, have you seen this movie before? It just becomes rinse, wash, repeat. And the number one thing that I deal with in looking at these patterns, and it's just my own trade anxiety that I have. And so, to be perfectly honest with you, because I have trade anxiety, if I didn't trade patterns, I probably wouldn't trade. Because the only thing that helps me at all with my anxiety is, I've seen this movie before. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that really helps me with my trade anxiety, if I'm making any sense. Some people, Jim's one of those people. He really doesn't have trade anxiety. Again, like he and I specifically talked about that one trade last week where gold kind of had him sideways for a while before it worked, and he's like, yeah, I little bit anxious on that, to be honest, but whereas I would have had a freaking heart attack, a little bit anxious, I'd have had a heart attack. These guys are just not lining up together right now. Come on. I really needed you to come down more. All right. Again, you got to remember, guys, we're not, I don't want to take a trade because I think it's going to go long. I want to take a trade when I recognize where this big candle is going to be to put me right. It'll do that on you, Steve. That's why sometimes I, like gold, I've started trading it more manually because I get jumped, especially on really good trades. Like, the better the trade, the more likely I'm going to get jumped. But I also get jumped when I trade manually too. The way to eliminate that is to make it a market order, but then, you don't know what you're going to get. So now we got a little bit of a problem here. We are above the prior day open here, but we're below the prior day close here. The best scenario would be this to roll back down to here. Actually, here would be the best when this gets here. But I don't see that happening. See, like, so for example, this looks like a 1 minute gold line potential for you. I mean, it's kind of late in the day for a 1 minute gold line, but this might look like a potential 1 minute gold line for you in the YM. The problem is, if you get into this YM trade here long, it's gonna sit here and bog the hell down, because this is going to run into the bottom of these lines. And so that's what I try to avoid. Like, see, that YM wants to go long, but this RTY is going to hold it up because of the stat. See that? Just watch that. I mean, it's, and then it rolls over. we got the same scenario going on right now with the NQ and the C and the ES. The only difference is the NQ and the ES are at their resistance lines at the same time. So we might be able to, we ultimately may end up getting a trade over there instead, because they may both cross over their lines at the same time, then test support. These are caught on two different sides of the line. This one's north of it, this one's south of it. So we're in a quagmire here. Okay, come on. Like Bruce pointed out, we also have some of these Fed people talking today. And I mean, you guys should know the market turns into freaking turd balls when those idiots are talking. But see, if you're looking at this and understand what the problem this instrument is going to have, it may help you recognize that this trade, albeit go to here, it may not be a trade that gets you your profit that you need to risk the trade. If I'm making sense. Again, I go back to this. It's not about the quantity of trades, it's about the quality of trades. And if the sister instrument is working together with each other, the brother and sister, if they are working together, which obviously their patterns, they're working together today. If they're working together today, but one has an issue that the other one doesn't, you don't want to take the trade with the one that doesn't, because the one that's having the issue is going to hold that one back. And you can see that's what's happening right here. The YM wants to go long. The YM wants to run all the way up to the overnight open. But the problem is this thing's stuck. I mean, the YM, if this thing was off in free land up over here, I'm telling you right now, this pattern would have gone boom, 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 right to there. And that would have been a nice, beautiful, profitable trade. But instead, it's going to be a battle that's going to be ugly. And I don't want to be in trades that are battles. Even though it's supposed to go here, how is it going to get there? Papa Duke, you're funny. And see, this saved you from losing money. Knowing that this one's got problems. You get $400 in oil? Awesome, American Patriot. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm struggling today, man. I am struggling today. Oh, what did I do? Sorry. Let me see here. I see the trade you took. So you must have taken that after that crossover, these consolidation candles, you must have taken that long right there off that red line and the 5-minute gold line, actually, but that red line right there. Am I correct, Patriot? Okay, so let's see here. We're on attempt 3. This is good news. So we went 1, 2. This is third attempt. So this may finally break through over here to the long side, which again, this wants to go long. Yep, you took that trade. Good job. Good job, Patriot. Good job. You had some nice consolidation candles before that move. And because those candles were nice and consolidated, hell, you weren't really risking anything. Yeah, they were all right together. Exactly. Great. That's a great setup. Beautiful. Excellent. Yeah, that's an excellent setup. I'll show you. It was over here that I took my gold trade that I lost money. Right here. I mean, not gold, oil. We had this cross retest right here. And this pivot was lower than this one. This was lower than this one. So and we had these consolidation candles. So I took that rejection to thinking we were going back down here. And freaking thing reversed on me and I got snapped. That's the loss I took this morning. That was at in oil. That was at 936, 937, somewhere in there. I hope so, tea time. That's what I'm waiting for. That's why I tell you guys, man. I mean, like if you just follow the rules, follow the system, look for the sister instrument, and your trade will ultimately pop up in front of your face, and you'll be like, oh shit, bam, bam, hey, I made $500. Okay, I'm done. Kind of like American Patriot did. But yeah, right now, this, I mean, the NQ and the ES are honestly even uglier. Let's see here. Where is it? Here's the NQ. See this? Look at this shit. Look at this. You can't make money in that. And that's exactly what the ES looks like too. Same lines too. Same static lines above them. So ES and the NQ have to battle their way through that and go sit on top and give us a long together, or come back down here together. They got to do one or the other. They can't stay where they're at. Wow. Looks like the short's going to win on this battle. I probably should have been. I mean, I don't know. I probably should have known the short was going to win, because the ES, the NQ, and the RTY were all on the short side of the overnight open. So, I mean, of course, I think we had a day or two last week. You guys might remember that the YM took off, and it took like maybe 30 minutes or so. And finally, the ES and the NQ and the RTY went and did the same thing. The YM just kept battling and battling, trying to go long, and finally dragged the rest of the market with it. Well, today's one of those days where the RTY, the ES, and the NQ are going to pull the YM down. It looks like. Yep, he did. He did call it, JP. Oh, I have no idea. And it's very regionalized too, Treeman. in the United States. You know, it's such a big country. The average wage in this country is very regionalized. Like where Jim lives in California, you got to make double what I make here just to pay the taxes to live there. That's why it's called California. That's why it's called California. Yeah. Oh, Jim will call it California right on here. Trust me. He knows. He's not bashful about it. He knows. All right, guys. Everybody pick a direction. I need to make a trade. I got my money back. I'm up like 70 some dollars from my oil loss. This is the kind of day where you know, if all you do is just look at the lines, look at the moving averages, you can get your money stolen. You gotta kind of just visualize, you know, the difference between deliberate and non-deliberate, and make sure things line up. Look at gold. Ooh, it's back inside the prior day high. Ooh. Shit, that's the short right there. Yep. Good job. That's a good thought, Jim. Gene. Gene. That's a good thought, Gene. That's a very good thought. That's probably, I'll be honest with you, that's probably one of the big benefits of trading with live money is I don't feel pressure to have to trade. Like I don't have a counter. You know what I mean? Like there's nobody counting, how many trades I take, or, like how many trade days I trade, I should say. Stuff like that. How come I can't find? What the hell? I'm confused. Why the hell can't I find that? I'm missing an instrument on my chart here. There's a couple ways to do it, Jim. The simplest way is to just go in your indicator. I mean, we're kind of sitting here dead, so I can show you the ways. All right. You ready? You can always go back and redo it. The simplest way is go in your indicator and pull down, an EMA, add it down here, and take 5 times the time period, the number. So it's in this case, it's 9. So 5 times 9 and turn it into a 45 EMA. And that will be basically a 5-minute moving average. Your 5-minute 9 EMA. Okay. What I've done is down in my charts, I've created a 5-minute chart, and then I've inlaid it in here. So I've done 2 data series, and then like this reads this data series for my 9 EMA right here. So see, it's a 9, like in this case, it's a 9 EMA, and it reads off my, where is it? Oh, when I set it up, it asked me, yeah, right here. My input series is my 5-minute chart. That's on my second data series. So right in here, you got data series. You can create, I got 2 data series, a 1-minute and a 5-minute. I shrink the 5-minute so I don't trade it, because I don't care about it. But I use the data off it to create my 9 EMA and my 21 SMA. So if you go in my indicators, it says for my both my 5-minute lines that it's a 21 SMA, which is really the 105, and then a 9 EMA, which is the 45, but it's reading off 5-minute data. So mine's like accurate, because it's literally the moving average that a 5-minute trader sees, literally. So there's 2 ways to do it. Yeah, and the red line is the 105 exactly, which is 21 times 5. And if you don't think these lines mean something, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Like I said, the red line determines the direction of the market. So it's trying, now that the market's been open, we've been past the news. I mean, not the news, we're past the freaking bullshit of the market opening. They are trying to keep price north of that moving average. I mean, that line there means something. So that's why I call the 5-minute red line a direction, market direction moving average, and the other 2 are continuation moving averages. Who asked me that question, by the way? I can't. I don't remember. Oh, Jim asked me that. Okay, Jim. You get it, Jim? If you know how to, if you can add a second data series and then just shrink it on your chart, that's probably the best way to do it. Because then when you save your charts at night, it saves it that way. Like I don't have to reset that up every day. every one of these has this. So that this moving average is this 5 minute gold line right here is literally tied to what the 5 minute traders see. Exactly. Versus the other way, it's very close. It's just not exact. But I mean, on these 5 minute moving averages, you don't need to be exact. Because you got, so let's talk about the 5 minute moving average. Like we just pierced the 5 minute moving average on gold to the long side. Let's just see if it works. Okay. Notice it rejected it right back up. It crossed over, sat on that 5 minute gold line and rejected it straight up. Now, you got to remember 5 minute moving averages are also people using 5 minute candles. So where you are in the sequence of a 5 minute candle being formed here, and I do have an indicator to figure that out too, but where you are in the process of this 5 minute candle being formed is going to tell you in general where the real move should come, because you have a top of that candle and you have a bottom of that candle. And it's when the top of that 5 minute candle after it closes gets broken that the trade should really move, because that's what the 5 minute candle trader sees. Does that make sense? He or she, they see the price action here, but they don't see 1 minute candles. Okay. I use 1 minute candles to see this because 5 minute candles can be very expensive to trade. You got to have a big bankroll to trade 5 minute candles because they're a lot bigger. You know what I mean? I hope I'm making sense. Where is let me see if I can find that indicator. I can't remember what it's called. That's not it. That's not it. I can't remember what it's called. This might be it right here. Is that it? Was that it? This might be. Let me check. Yeah, this is it. So here's a 5 minute candle. And I got to change the colors again, but it'll tell me what a 5 minute trader is seeing. I have an indicator to do that. And it'll tell me what a 5 minute trader is seeing. I have to go into it and actually change some things so that we can actually see it. Because my lines are the wrong colors. Like you certainly don't need white. How do I see white on white? So let's try purple. And wick, I want, purple, I guess. So, and then there's all your, and this gives you all your high, your low, how much time is left on that 5 minute candle. I mean, this is a pretty cool thing. So here's all the time that's left on that 5 minute candle that a 5 minute trader is seeing. So I do have that. It's somewhere buried in my stuff. If for some reason anybody wants that script, I can email it to you. You just got to email me and ask for it. But it's nice to know because it shows you the high and the low, and it gives you a timer because you can't tell. Like we're on a 5 minute moving average right now. You can't tell what a 5 minute trader is seeing as the high or the low, and you can't, because you don't know. You're looking at a 1 minute candle, And so it's when that 5-minute candle, when this 5-minute candle finally closes, that you should mark where your high is, mark where you should know where your low is, say in this case. But it's when that high is broken that if they're trading a continuation trade, that's where the trade should accelerate to the long side, for example. Yeah, thank you, T time. Yeah, the PO3. I recognized it finally when I saw it. And it's cool because it has its own timer. It tells you, in 5-minute language when the 5 minutes is going to be over. And it's using 5 minutes exactly how a 5-minute trader is seeing it. I mean, I got to screw with the colors again so it's a little easier to see. Because like some of it's kind of hard to see. Like, let me turn that to. What am I doing wrong here? It's telling me my wick cover is navy, but it's not navy. Why is it not navy? Why is it not changing? It's weird. My wick is not changing. Anyway, so in 1 minute, 56 seconds, this candle is going to close for a 5-minute trader. This is a 5-minute moving average. Now, our strategy is to be long already right here. Okay. All right. But a 5-minute trader, their high right now is still this candle right here. Okay. And we're about ready. So their candle, if you visualize it, this is what their candle looks like. It's going to have a long ass wick and a small body in 20 seconds. Okay. So let's just pay attention and watch what happens. They're going to have a long ass wick off of this 21 SMA and a small body, as long as this thing can hold its head up. And then their entry would be long here. Now, of course, we got the prior day high in the way, but let's just pay attention. Okay, so their high is right here. And you remember the formation of that candle. So it's a long wick bottom. And there's your high of that candle. So now we're starting the second candle. Let's just see what happens. But our entry is, the reason I use a 1-minute candle on a 5-minute moving average is because I'm in down here, not way the hell up here. As long as I get that smooth rotation down and then the reversal. Okay. What the fuck is that? I'm brain dead. Oh, okay. So we're still here. This candle's still forming. It hasn't broken its low. Not that we care really, but I'm just saying. Our top and our bottom to that candle was right here. Our 5-minute candle was here and here. So this candle on a 5-minute trade for a 5-minute trader, currently 2 minutes into it, is an inside candle. Now, what'll be interesting is if we get an inside candle here as a 5-minute candle. Think about this. If we get an inside candle here as a 5-minute candle, remember this is the line they're trading off of. If we get an inside candle, which we got 2 minutes left for it to happen inside this range, what would happen when this candle gets broken to the upside? Be pretty interesting, because we got our high right now. It's right here. This candle right here is our high. Right here, this little one right here. That's our high right now in this 5-minute candle being formed. It's right here. Now, what I used to do when I just traded just the ES is I used to have a 5-minute chart of the ES and I had a 1-minute chart of the ES, and I had them side by side. So I didn't have to play these games. Does that make sense? But if I've got so many, instruments, the ES, RTY, all that stuff, I got all that stuff going on. It's a lot harder to do. I mean, it's really not that easy. Okay, we got 11 seconds left. So what's going to happen is we are going to have an inside candle. Interesting. And it's going to be, the high is going to be here. And the low is going to be this candle right now that's forming right here. So we had an inside candle to our candle here that actually pushed price long off our moving average. This is our new candle being formed. Interestingly enough, it stuck its head through the bottom of this inside candle by 1 tick. This would be really wild if it rolls up now. It would. This would be really wild if this rolls up now. Went through it again by 2 ticks this time, or whatever. Couple ticks, 3 ticks maybe. It's trying to go through the bottom of that candle, but you never know. That may be the fake break. Remember, these are 5-minute traders trading. Their mentality is different than us 1-minute traders. So a fake break that just kind of and doesn't really go, that doesn't really scare them. Fake break to the downside. Oh, man. Down goes Frazier. Holy shit. Okay. So they broke that inside candle, and they actually broke it. So this thing is probably going to run. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's gone. So the inside candle, that's a 5-minute candle, it broke, and then it broke. I mean, it just broke. So visualize a 1-minute candle the way we do, formed right there. You just saw the consolidation candle get broken to the downside, and it all collapsed away. Interesting. Anyway, so this thing here is like I said, it's a 5-minute formation. It tells you when the candle, so we're 2 minutes into this 5-minute candle, which has now pierced the bottom of this candle. So That's showing that the 5-minute traders are looking to go short now for sure. Anyways, there you go. Am I missing anything over here? The RTY is back through the top. So let me see where the YM is in all this. What the hell's the YM doing? Holy crap. The YM isn't doing crap. The NQ still isn't doing crap. Holy. All right, look at the NQ. We really need that NQ to go through. Okay. We really need this NQ to go through, break these pivots, come back, sit on top with the, here, let me just throw it over here. Geez, I hate changing the instruments because then I can't see the other one. Here's the ES. We need the ES to catch up. See, the ES still hasn't caught up to the NQ. Come on, guys. Oh, excellent idea, Brad. That's an excellent idea, Brad. That has not been said. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because you can change the box color. Excellent idea, Brad. I'm going to work on that. I like that idea better. Holy shit, Brad. Let me write that one down. If I can figure out how to do it. I think I know what you're saying. I make a 5-minute candle into a box with a transparent background. I think about that. Now, so is there a let me think about this. Like, is there something I load in here to do that? Okay, hold on here. Let me do that. Oh, so I create another one. And put it in here is what you're saying. Okay. I think I see it happening here. I'll play around with that later. Shoot, now I screwed this one up. Oh, shit, now I screwed it up. Now I screwed up my panel. Damn it. Okay. I'll screw around with that later. I like that idea though. I think I see what you're doing. I've got to go get rid of some blood. Yes, I said it. Okay, where's my ES? See. So those of you that are NQ traders, you know how the NQ is. So it broke up through here. I mean, in real world, it would take off like a lightning, but it can't because this is stuck down here. We just got a lot of confliction. Now the positive here is, if there's going to be positive that I can at least lay on everybody. I mean, at least we're not sitting here losing money by taking trades that don't work. Again, I used the analogy, the story, the whatever you want to call it. I can't make the market make me money. I can only make money when the market gives opportunities to make money. Where is my... This YM is just killing me. Because the RTY is out. The RTY is trying to do things. See, the RTY is trying to do things. But the YM just wants nothing to do with it. I mean, here's a beautiful, God dang, it's a beautiful situation to go long through the highs. And the YM's down here in Quagmire land. And so there's just, I mean, Bruce, it's got to be these Fed clowns running their pie holes today has screwed up our market today. See, I learned just as much from you guys as you guys do me. I think Brad might have helped me out a lot here. I'm gonna play around with that later today. Yeah, I saw that, American Patriot, exactly. Okay, I've not. Is it a commission? Is it a standing indicator already in here? Or is it one I got to get from Ninja? Oh, speaking of that, anybody use Quant Tower? Does anybody use Quant Tower? Boy, look at gold go. Jesus. Because there's a subscriber who has coded these setups, these moving averages and everything, and the lines and all that stuff for Quant Tower, that he said that he'll send it to me if anybody needs it. From the ecosystem, okay. That's kind of what I thought, Kamish. I think I'm going to try Brad's thing first, because I understand what he's saying. Makes sense. I just got it, just like MB Trader, though. I got to figure out how to, like, quote unquote make it a box. But of course, I haven't looked at it yet. I'm still trying to find a trade for us to possibly do something and make money. It just doesn't look like today's that day. Well, the good news is I didn't lose $500 today like I normally would on a day like today. I mean, look at this garbage. This is the NQ. Just pure, unadulterated garbage. All right, well, I'm gonna go try to run my business. I didn't lose any money today. Yesterday, I did take a trade in the afternoon. Remember, I've talked about the afternoon. I did take a trade yesterday afternoon, so I ended up. I think when we shut off yesterday, I was at like 460, and I ended up at like 7.25 yesterday. I'm up, so I'm up over $1,500 this week. Yeah, definitely up over 1,500 this week. Despite all my trips to the hospital. Yeah, Ryan, it's I'd rather not take money from the market than have the money take my money, than have the market take my money. And today just happens to be one of those days. Whenever I look at whenever I look at the news and I see it that there's going to be Fed people talking, I just go, oh fuck, because the market 9 times out of 10 will look like this when those people are, talking. It's just not going to do anything, or it'll do crazy ass stuff that there's nothing tradable because somebody says something like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna digitally push a button and put $2 trillion into the market tomorrow afternoon." Well, that's not a tradable event either, because the market just goes wing, and then what are you supposed to do? So, anyways, everybody have a good day. If I don't get called into a procedure tomorrow morning, I will be here tomorrow. And if I'm not here tomorrow, then that's what's happened. Okay. Everybody have a good day.